Hey everybody, it's me as always, your host Gambit896, and I'm back once again with another in-depth review video for you guys. Today I'll be reviewing Demon Knights Volume 1, Seven Against the Dark. This is written by Paul Cornell and illustrated by a gentleman by the name of, you forgive me because I can't pronounce this guy's name, Diogenes Neves? Diogenes Neves. However you choose to pronounce that. And the inker is Auclair Albert, who some of you may know from his inking that he did on some of the Green Lantern stories with Jeff Johns and Ivan Reyes from DC's Old 52 universe. And as you can see from the front cover, this is the demon Etrigan, who's one of the main characters in this first story arc, and this first trade paperback collects the first 7 issues of the Demon Knight series from DC's New 52. Now, my first exposure to the character of Etrigan was in the first volume of Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. This is volume 1, Preludes and Nocturnes, which collects the first 8 issues of the series, and Etrigan shows up as a guest character when the character of Dream or Morpheus, our main character in the Sandman series, takes a trip to hell. And also another series that Etrigan appears in more prominently is in the Demon Annual number 1, which collects annual number, is it annual number 2? The Demon Annual number 2, which is collected in this first volume of Garth Ennis's Hitman series. This is volume 1, A Rage in Arkham, which collects the Demon Annual number 2, the Batman Chronicles issue 4, and Hitman issues 1 through 3, written by Garth Ennis and illustrated by John McCrea, and once again published by DC from their Old 52 universe. If you guys haven't checked out that review video of the first Hitman volume, I'll put a link below in the description. So anyway, the story starts out in Demon Knights, and we are introduced to a flashback to 400 years in the past, with Camelot under siege and being destroyed. As you can see in the first opening page, there's one of King Arthur's loyal soldiers holding the Sword of Power Excalibur, as you can see there. I have to give credit where credit is due. Both the artist Neves, or Neves, however you choose to pronounce it, and Auclair Albert do a great job with both the artwork and the color palette, which is a very sometimes muted, depending on the mood of the issue that you're reading, or it's a very bright and colorful color palette which is used by Albert. And as you can see, there's Arthur being transported to his eternal resting place of Avalon, as you can see there. And so we pick up with Merlin, who at that time was one of the most powerful sorcerers during this time period, and he's captured the demon Etrigan, as you can see there. Unfortunately for Merlin, his pupil Jason Blood arrives in time to warn his master that he needs to escape from Camelot before it's destroyed. And Merlin says to Jason, "You're just in time, your destiny awaits," and he then proceeds to bond both Jason Blood and Etrigan together, essentially making them two beings occupying one body, essentially, as you can see there. And this inadvertently makes Jason immortal, so he can live for thousands of years, and everything else that comes along with immortality. We then flash forward to the Dark Ages, with the hordes and the ruler of this horde, the Questing Queen, and her sorcerer Mordru, who are on a quest to take over and take over this city called I forget the name, but I'll just refer to my notes once I've shown you this page of artwork. As you can see, there's Mordru trying to find out if they are on the right track to finding what the questing queen is looking for. As you can see there. The questing queen is on a journey to essentially take over this city called Albasarum, which also contains a small village called Little Spring, which we see that Jason Blood and his immortal lover and sorceress Madame Xanadu are also on a journey to Little Spring. As you can see there's a shot of Blood and Xanadu. And on the way to Little Spring, they also meet another of our main characters and also another member of the Demon Knights, which is Vandal Savage, who is another immortal barbarian-esque character who is a devourer and, well, makes his diet on dragons, which I'll show you shortly. We also meet another of our main characters, Sir Yinstin, Y-S-T-I-N, however you choose to pronounce that, also known as the Shining Knight, who I'm not sure is either, he could be a woman, or, well, she could be a woman, or he could be a man. I'm not entirely sure what gender the Shining Knight is, as that's kind of brought up as a plot point in in the later issues. And we also meet the character of forgive me because this character is a very difficult to pronounce name, hang on, Exorcistus, who is a badass Amazonian warrior who has been banished from the Amazonian home of Paradise Island for reasons which may get explored in later issues of the series outside of this first 7-issue story arc. And we also meet at the same time another of our main characters in this top panel, a character by the name of Al Jabba, who is a mysterious inventor who hails from a foreign land outside of Little Spring and I keep forgetting the name of the town. Just bear with me 1 second. Albasaran. So there you are. There you have our main cast of characters, and we also get introduced to another mysterious character of the Horsewoman, who is an equally mysterious character and also has a mysterious psychic connection to the horses upon which she rides during this 7-issue story arc. And so the village comes under attack by the hordes of the Questing Queen, and as you can see, here's Jason citing the poem, "Concealed within the form of man, release the demon Etrigan." And as you can see, there's our first full shot of Etrigan. And there's a bizarre, really kind of twisted love triangle between Jason Blood, Etrigan, and Madame Xanadu going on in this first story arc. And so the village of Little Spring comes under attack by the hordes of the Questing Queen, as well as dragons, which there's a pretty cool comedic moment from Vandal Savage where he says, "Excellent, I have not eaten one of these in centuries," which I thought was kind of funny. And also, a point I mention, these are actually dinosaurs, but considering this is in the Dark Ages, and the word dinosaur, which stems from the word dinosauria, and also dinosaur skeletons and whatnot, and excavations by archaeologists are far flung in the future from the Dark Ages. So I suppose this is just one of the story elements where you need to kind of just dispel your disbelief. So also this is a really cool double page spread of some of the artwork from Neves, who I have to say the artwork in this is really good, and also the storytelling and the writing from Paul Cornell is really solid. And this is actually my first exposure to both Cornell as a writer and Neves, however you choose to pronounce it, as an artist. And we find out that not only have we got this sort of giant epic battle between the Demon Knights and the hordes of the Questing Queen, there's a lot of really great action scenes in this. There's also some really cool showcasing of magic within this Demon Knights universe, especially from Madame Xanadu in this page here, as you can see there. And there's also a really cool, pretty badass moment with Etrigan after Madame Xanadu has cast this one spell, and she's temporarily held off the hordes of the Questing Queen, but then Etrigan says, "At what price, you cleric filth? If I've lost her beauty, I'll roast you alive in your own fat." And he proceeds to rip the guy's face off with his claws, which I thought was pretty cool and pretty grisly. So, as you can see from the middle panel. And later on we get the Shining Knight's backstory of how she gained her longevity and her the reasoning behind this quest that he or she is on. As like I said, I'm not sure if the character is a man or a woman, but we see that it has something to do with the Holy Grail, and also how Merlin factors into it. You may notice from some of the pages I've just shown you, the art style might look slightly different. That's because Mike Choi fills in for a few pages during this flashback sequence, and then with the end of the issue we have the return to Neves as the artist. There's also issues 6 and 7, well actually starting in 5 and then climacting in 6 and 7, we have this gigantic epic scale battle between the hordes of the Questing Queen and the Demon Knights. Let me see if I can show you an example of some of the battle scenes in here. There's also a really cool badass moment with Exoristos, the exiled Amazonian warrioress. As you can see there, she's bringing down a giant rhinoceros-esque type creature, which I thought was really cool. You know, like I said, the action towards the end of this first story arc really does pick up quite a lot. Let me see if I can show you. Here's another really cool example of another action-packed double-page spread of Neves's artwork, as you can see there and there. Overall, this is a really great first story arc with these first 7 issues of this first trade paperback. Really introduces the characters of the Demon Knights really well. Just some observations. Etrigan is meant to be a rhyming demon, and he kind of talks as you and I would talk during this first story arc. That doesn't really bother me, in all honesty. What else? Like I said, the dragons, which are actually dinosaurs, which that doesn't bother me either. As like I said, it's just one of those things you need to kind of suspend your disbelief, as it's you know, it's a comic book. You know, it's not going to make 1,000% sense all of the time. Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing where this story goes. Paul Cornell does a great job at building up the initial sort of motley crew vibe with the characters of the Demon Knights, as initially they don't know each other from Adam, and they have a very hard time coming to grips with one another and trusting one another. But then towards the end of the first story arc, we have the team, which has kind of been pitched as the Justice League of the Dark Ages, coming together in issue 6 and 7. If you guys, well, like I said, you know, the writing by Paul Cornell and the artwork by Neves, and also the inking being done by Auclair Albert, are all really solid. If you're a fan of Paul Cornell's writing, if you're a fan of the character of Etrigan, if you're a fan of medieval fantasy and sword and sorcery in your comic books, then I definitely think that Demon Knights is definitely worth checking out. Like I said, I'll put a link to my first, the review of the first volume of Hitman Volume 1 of Agent Arkham below in the description, which will be on my personal channel, Gambit896. If I had to give this first volume of Demon Knights a rating, I'd give it a very strong 4 out of 5. I'm really interested to see where this story goes. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. As always, feel free to leave a comment below in the comment section. And if you haven't already, please feel free to click the button which says subscribe to this channel, which is Dark Avengering Plus, down there. Like I said, please feel free to check the links in the description. I'll put a link to my personal channel, as well as the Dark Avengering Plus Facebook page, where myself and my other Dark Avengering Plus members tend to post updates and video postings of latest review videos and whatnot. So it would mean a lot if you guys check out the Facebook page link below and give the page a thumbs up or a like. And that about concludes this review video. Thank you everybody for watching. Like I said, hope you all enjoyed the video. And until next time, this is Gambit896 signing off, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys.